Twin, who the fuck he shot at, twin? Cause look, twin, we was all standing right there like shooting at y'all nigga like
nigga as Day he was nigga Day was running like a hole. What the fuck, bro?
Day, come in, Day. Nigga say you running like a hole. Nigga, that's how you know you lying, twin, cause Day wasn't even out there.
Who wear orange video?
Stupid ass nigga.
L3 had orange hoodie on.
Nigga.
Who had orange hoodie?
Nigga,
whoever had an orange hoodie, I seen him trying to crawl under a car.
I think he talking about
dude. Oh yeah, dude. I can't wait to drop a nuke on you.
You know what dudes do? You know me and dudes have flips in.
Oh shit that dudes do. On my soul.
But yes you do.
Hey.
Hey, me up, dude.
Hey,
show the pal, dude.
Hey, why your man? Why your man?
Spinning blocks, I got this pal. I call up dudes compete the job.
What the fuck, nigga? That stand that shit.
We have no twin. You ain't.
All right, Shalom. There's the brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word, in all truth and in sincerity. This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13, and it reads, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?" All right, and I want to go into a lesson through the Spirit on the degenerate plant 2/3 of our people have become. And when I say our people, I'm referring to Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, all right, as they're called today, and their descendants that may be scattered amongst other nations. All right, but their heritage goes back to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on their father's side, who are the Israelites. All right, our people have become a degenerate plant. The culture that our people hold on to, all right, is the culture of these Edomites. All right, as a matter of fact, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 1. "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." All right, and Esau, Edom, is a degenerate, and our people are a very cheap imitation of the so-called white man. From the hood jakes to the corporate blue-collar jakes in amongst 2/3 of our people, they have modeled themselves after the judge of the city. All right, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. All right, now people have modeled themselves after the so-called white man. All right, and what you saw, that short clip, was an example of the degenerate activity of our people. You know, and what you notice on the internet especially is that the degeneracy gets younger and younger concerning who's involved. You know, that Jake looked like he can't be no more than 14, 15 years old. And now this culture of smoking ops, of going live with guys you're shooting at and bragging about it, and, you know, all of this degenerate activity, our people have modeled themselves after the so-called white man. And this is why the Lord called them a degenerate plant, because they've committed two evils. All right, and what is the Lord referring to? They have forsaken their own culture and adopted a culture that is not original for them. You know, the Lord gave us law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord gave us a culture, and our people have forsaken their culture, all right, to accept being called Black, Hispanic, Latino, and everything that comes with those titles. Everything that comes with those proverbs and bywords is degeneracy. And it's not just the jakes in the streets. The whole blue-collar jakes of, you know, they don't see color, and whatever the so-called white man says goes, and he can't do no wrong in their eyes, and the past is the past. We trying to move on. You know, that's a part of Esau's wine and his philosophies. And our people have committed two evils. All right. And then they've hewed them out cisterns that can hold no water. Because whether you have the hood jakes or the blue collar jakes, we're still in the same condition. Nothing's really changed for us as a nation of people. All right. Now I want to jump down to verse 21. Jeremiah 2 and 21. And it reads, Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? All right, and that's exactly what 2/3 of our people have turned into, a degenerate plant. Because the same BS that our people are glorifying, all right, is being given to the next generation, and then they're going to pass it down. This is why we understand through the Spirit, there will be no flesh left to save if the Lord didn't intervene. The culture of our people is getting progressively worse. Our people have this illusion of progress because they have iPhones and because they can see so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on TV and in sports, and they have this illusion of progress. But the culture our people have held on to is only getting worse. There was a time when Jake wouldn't deal with so-called designer drugs. Now Jake, before they damn near when they hit puberty or before they hit puberty, they're bragging about Perks and Xans, Percocets and Xanax. Prescription cough syrup. And our people are getting progressively worse. And that's why the Lord's going to turn the prison planet into death row. First, the Lord put us into captivity, took us on the other side of the world, scattered us amongst all the nations. We fell away from our heritage. And none of that was enough to make Jake consider and return. They've in fact gotten worse. So the Lord is going to be justified in putting 2/3 of our people to death on this side because they refuse to return. All right, this is Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Yasharallah unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. All right. And that is symbolic of our nation as a whole being sick. Our problem as a nation of people is not economics. It's not military. All right. It's not community. There's a sickness, and that sickness is disobedience. All of those other situations are really just symptoms of one disease, and that disease is the disobedience of our people to the Heavenly Father and the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us. That is the sickness that our people suffer from to this day. And this is why the only solution now, all right, is the Lord's going to have to put to death 2/3 of our people because they refuse to return at this point. And what you saw was a glimpse into what the next generation looks like, because it only gets progressively worse. The bragging of killing another Jake that looked like you from another street about a disagreement that happened 20 years ago. And our people glorify these things, man. These things should be put to open shame. They shouldn't be glorified. And this is why ultimately the Lord called our people unreasonable. Matter of fact, let me get that. Because here it is, the Lord brought us over here, put us under the other nations, beginning with the so-called white man. We're made a mockery of as a nation of people everywhere we go. And in the midst of that, our people are glorying and celebrating our destruction. This is an unreasonable nation of people, man, concerning 2/3. They hear the laws of the Lord and they got every excuse. But if the so-called white man told them to take an experimental juice, they will wait in front of a Walgreens or a CVS for 3 hours, which shows you they have more faith in the ones who have destroyed them than they do in the one they ignorantly call God, man. All right, this is Ezekiel 18. And I just want to get the point. This is verse 25. And it reads, Yet ye say, the way of the Lord is not equal. Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal? In the NLT, it reads, yet you say the Lord isn't doing what's right. And our people say that all over social media. Well, if God is real, why would he do this? So God was up there watching us go into captivity. All right. And we still here. And our people refuse to return to the Lord, man. When you look at what we did to earn this position, our people should be as humble as ever. Instead of that, our people have become spiritually institutionalized. Our people are a bunch of spiritual convicts, man. They're so used to captivity that they just glory in it. They don't want to be free from this. That's why the Lord said, why should ye be stricken anymore? Only the elect have the mind through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai of actually wanting to be free and sovereign. Sovereign interests only live in the hearts of the elect of the nation of Israel. The majority of our people do not truly want to be free. And you can see by how they operate. We live amongst a nation. When you think about Jake's logic, man, it's so backwards. And this is why the Lord said, are not your ways unequal, man? How backwards it is that they hear the laws of the Lord, which is good for us. And they say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to eat pork and destroy our bodies. We're going to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster and destroy our bodies and our immune systems. Now, we ain't going to listen to the Lord. And this is why the Lord said this, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 2. And let me see. Believe it's. Yep. This is Jeremiah 2. No, I want this real quick. Salakia, bear with me. Here it is. This is verse 31. Jeremiah 2 and 31. O generation, see the word of the Lord. Have I been a wilderness unto Israel, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are lords, we will come no more unto thee. And the Lord is saying, was my commandments unprofitable? And the answer is no, man. Our people are just rebellious. And that's why this lifetime and this captivity has proven one very important thing concerning the vineyard of the Lord, all right, which is his people, is that 2/3 of our people are beyond repair. You know, they have to be put down and brought through the loins of the elect. And that's why the Lord's judgment is going to put down 2/3 of his own people. And they're going to be born through the loins of the elect. Because this captivity has proven there's nothing that you can do to 2/3 of our people that will make them return to the Lord. Nothing. You can take them out of their own homeland, out of their own government, put them under the worst nation of people on earth. All right. Scatter them, make a mockery of us on the world stage. All right. Put us in poverty. And it still won't be enough for Jake. As a matter of fact, Jake will glory in it and call it a culture. Being on the bottom is not a culture. Because we're the salt of the earth, people look at this poverty and think that it's something, but this is embarrassing. Our people should be embarrassed at our condition as a nation of people on the earth. That the highest form of excellence as a people is an athlete or an entertainer. That's the highest representation of Negro, Latino, and Native American excellence. It's some entertainer or some ex-drug dealer who can now make music about selling drugs instead of actually selling them. That's embarrassing, man. And instead of Jake being corrected and humbled, they get worse. All right, real quick, this is Isaiah 5 and 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And as the scriptures say, matter of fact, I'm going to just get it. This is Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me there was no power formed, neither shall there be after me. And the elect are witnesses on this side, Lord willing, we be a part of that number, at the Lord's vineyard, which is his people. And the Lord is asking, what more could I do to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to make them return to the commandments? Because when we all first woke up to the truth, we have this compassion for our people. But then you quickly realize the Lord's done everything that he could do to bring our people back to some sense. But our people are rebellious and they are unreasonable. And this lifetime is proof of that. Our culture, before we knew this truth, we thought our name was a color in a crayon box, man. Or some proverb in Latin. A Latin proverb. A Latin byword is your identity. And we thought that was okay. We thought that was cool. Now we've learned the truth through the Spirit. Now the Lord has allowed the truth to come into the world, and our people have rejected their heritage to remain those proverbs and bywords. What else could you do to Jake? And what you find is there's nothing else left. There's no other card left on the table but for our people to learn through death by pain, man. Our people have a sickness that can only be cured with the Lord putting them down. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. Jake is unreasonable, man. Look at how we are as a nation of people. This is ridiculous, man. This is the worst case scenario. And it's only getting worse the longer our people stay here. The worse they get. When you go into that word degenerate, it just keeps getting worse. Going backwards in culture. Going backwards in quality. And there's nothing left there's no other card of mercy on the table. This is why the Lord said, for God so loved the world, concerning the world of Jacob, that he gave his only begotten son. There is no other card on the table. And when you tell our people the truth and to repent, they got every type of excuse and negotiation like they had a used car lot, trying to talk the Lord down off his pivot, as if we not in the wrong as a people. It's frustrating, man. But we understand through the Spirit why the judgment is necessary. And the Lord, this shows us through the Spirit, Lord willing, we be a part of that number, how long-suffering Yahweh Shema Shai is toward our people. Because our people are completely unreasonable. You tell Jake that they're the greatest people on the face of the earth, and now they telling you just like the KKK. Where they do this at, man? This is madness, man. Our people have descended into madness. And the only thing that's going to fix it is Yahweh Shema Shah taking 2/3 of our people out, man. All right, there's Ecclesiastes 30:17. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. And this is a bitter life as a nation of people. You know, I went into a lesson yesterday about how when you look at the numbers, it's already checkmate financially for us as a nation of people. Maybe some Jakes will slip through the cracks and hit the lotto or, you know, get a record deal and actually be able to keep the money long enough to pass it to somebody else. But as a nation of people, it's already checkmate. And the Lord did that so that we would return. And Jake still refuses to return. So what other card is there left on the table? For Jake to consider the Lord and return to the Lord. They've tried everything else and they refuse to try the one thing that will save them. And this is why there's nothing left, man. There's nothing left but for the Lord to turn the prison into death row. All right, the Lord turned the entire planet into a prison for us as a nation of people. We now serve our servants as a people. And that's not enough. That's not embarrassing enough for us. that you got Jakes that ain't even old enough to drink with semi-automatic weapons bragging about shooting at each other. Real quick. Matter of fact, let's get this. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits, and have not known me. And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. And that is 2/3 of our people in a nutshell. They don't understand this truth, but they despise it. And it's really because they despise the Lord. And there's nothing else that can be done to correct 2/3 of our people. It's like having a garden. If you got weeds in the garden, you can't really negotiate with the weeds. You just got to pull them out and then put good seed where the weeds were. And that's exactly what the Lord is about to do. He's going to get rid of 2/3 of our people, and they're going to come back in their right mind through the loins of the elect. But when I saw that video, it just reminded me through the spirit of how degenerate our people have become in this society. And it's a reflection of how rebellious they are, that they would rather suffer under other nations of people than to serve the Lord. That is the reality. They'd rather glorify being in hell than to be obedient in heaven. And this is why we don't have any sympathy for 2/3 of our people. All right. On the other side, they'll be good, but we understand through the spirit that in order for the kingdom to be established, 2 parts therein have to be cut off. And this is why. All right. The Lord said, ye are my witnesses. The internet is proof. You could just scroll through the internet and see why the Lord said this. All right. This is Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. And that's being seen on the elect. All right, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. And you have 2/3 of our people who on the internet trying to demonize this truth while taking hold of black culture, which consists of celebrating Thanksgiving while eating the anus of pigs and calling it a delicacy, while putting hot sauce on it in Tupperware. And will tell those who believe in Yahweh Shema Shah that they're in a cult. You literally follow customs in a culture that kills you. And this is why King David said, let their table be made a snare unto them. But when I saw this video, it just reminded me through the spirit. And every day we get subtle reminders. Well, I can't even call them subtle. Every day we get reminders of why the Lord has to do what he has to do. Every day. 2/3 of our people have become completely degenerate, man. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that word and I'll end it. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 2. And I read the verse. So I'm going to just get the Hebrew word. All right. Degenerate. All right. It says shar. Degenerate. When you go to Strong's definition, it says probably passive participle, Salakia, of H5493, turned off, in example, deteriorated, degenerate. Now, when you get this in the dictionary, all right, it says right here, it says, having lost the physical, mental, or moral qualities considered normal and desirable, showing evidence of decline. And what is normal and desirable for us as a nation of people is the law, statutes, and commandments. What our people have resulted to or resorted to is degenerate behavior. And it's only getting worse, as if black culture in its beginning wasn't bad, for example, or Hispanic culture as if it wasn't bad just to start off with. It's declined even more as time has progressed. And I use the example of Jake and these drugs. Jake used to smoke homegrown or whatever they used to call it. Now, you fast forward to now, and Jake is on designer drugs straight out the pharmacy before they old enough to drink. And they toting semi-automatic weapons before they old enough to get into a club or drink. And it only gets worse. And this is why we understand through the Spirit that the only thing left, all right, is for judgment is the only thing left, man. It's truly the only thing left. Because at this point, the Lord has opened his hand to our people and they refuse. All right. In Esau's system, when you plead guilty, all right, they'll give you a lesser sentence. But when you take it to trial as a punishment, they throw the book at you. Well, the Lord is offering that mercy. This is Hosea 5:15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. And instead of Jake acknowledging their offense, because Yahweh Shema Shah is merciful, we know that personally. You know, and then when you look at us as a nation of people, the Lord has exercised unimaginable patience and mercy with us as a people. And the Lord said, until y'all acknowledge y'all offense, just say you wrong because you wrong. The evidence is against you. You did it. And this is why it got so bad to the Lord had to send his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, to be tortured and put to death so we would have access to the mercy that was promised to our forefathers. And that's not enough for them. That's not enough for them to even give the Lord effort. Here it is, the Lord done set it up to where sincerely try. Stop what you're doing and sincerely try. Jake won't even honor the Lord with effort, man. Hey, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to our Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word, in all truth and in sincerity.